Spit? Yeah, okay. All right, here we go. Okay, so we are at, where are we? What's it actually called? U.S. Air Force Museum? Okay. What? I just want to make sure we could see it. All right, so here we are at the National Air Force Museum. One of John's most excited adventures.
Most excited?
Yeah.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Why not? No. Thank you.
It's taking a look at the history of the United States Air Force, which is 75 years old, so it's the National Museum of the United States Air Force.
What did I say?
You'll see it when you look at it.
Okay, so here we go. Here he goes. All right, here he goes, everybody.
Get ready to go through the door.
Yep. Gonna enter into the land of the Air Force.
This is where it all started, basically.
All started here, evidently. Talk to us, John. Tell us what we're looking at.
Airplanes.
Airplanes.
Motors.
Motors.
This is a World War I.
World War I. Could you imagine flying in this?
It's got a serious wingspan.
Be easy to shoot down. Huh.
Impressive. I'm not quite sure what that is, but it looks like it'd be like a rat, like we have on the C-17.
What's its purpose?
Basically, you deploy that if you lose power, so you can actually run hydraulics, that kind of stuff.
The little propeller thing? Interesting.
There's one in the landing gear.
All right, so here comes, he's gonna be spewing knowledge the entire video. That's what this means. That's what that is. Look at this. That's all I ever hear when he talks about airplanes. His passion in life.
Just one of these.
What'd you say?
I said it's a Spitfire, but I don't see anything saying that's what it is. I could be wrong.
Maybe over here it says? It's British.
Yep. Use this for the defense of Britain for the longest time.
The Hurricane, the battle. More World War I stuff. Liberty L4 engine. There's the L6 and the L8. Look at that progression. That one's pink.
I know. It's got German markings on it.
And it's got German markings on it. What's this one all about?
The Bugatti. This Bugatti.
World War I. First appeared in combat in May 1918. It's impressive.
It says engine is Mercedes, or BMW has got Bugatti.
This one's got zebra stripes on it. So if these are all here, I'm assuming they were all used by the Air Force at one time. Otherwise, why would they be here?
Yeah.
Is that an assumption, or?
Be a good assumption. Well, this has got a German marking on it. Doesn't here.
So this would have been like World War II, World War I. They would have competed against each other. Possibly.
These are all World War I airplanes.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But they would have These would have been like comparable.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'd have been like dogfighting and all that.
All right, so what are we looking at? An aerial torpedo?
Yeah. It's kind of like the first, what do we call it? The Germans used, I'm blanking on. And this is a V2 rocket. So it's kind of like the first thing of that because it's powered. V2 is a jet powered. Just they let them go and they went wherever.
It's a bug. So Wright Brothers, a replica of the Wright Brothers airplane. We got to see that when we went to Kitty Hawk. We'll see that in a previous video.
Still amazes me it got off the ground.
Right. World War II.
I wonder if this is the same type that bombed Pearl Harbor.
Let's see. Is this an American plane?
It was,
Yeah.
It was made in America. It's got Japanese markings.
But it has American markings up here.
What is that? Oh. Weird.
Stumped. I stumped him. I don't know.
There's a lot to Air Force history I don't know.
That's why we're here.
Yep.
So what year was this? 21?
Yeah, 21.
So it was before World War II. So then why wasn't the Air Force considered the Air Force then?
Because it still fell into the Army Air Corps. It was the National Defense Service Act 47 that separated them. World War II had a lot to do with it. So it's showing how much the Air Corps did. So
So we don't have to.
No, you're good.
We got C in there. So the other wing on the other side is folded. So this is the unfolded side. This is the ready for flight side. It's pretty impressive. For that day and age, you know. It's the Holocaust Museum part of the Air Force Museum. So we got to go to Dachau when we lived in Germany.
this Ravensbrück was almost like Auschwitz was. I mean, they're all bad, but
Yeah.
some worse than the other. Who can involved?
Yeah. Ravensbrück was mostly for women. Perhaps the rarest artifact in the exhibit. Concentration camp uniform. Buchenwald.
We brought food, as I said, the very next day.
You can tell by the palm trees that we're in the section for the World War II in the Pacific.
Yep. The old island happened getting closer to Japan.
What's this one, Jen?
It's a bomb right over there.
I could tell you that. It's the Bombay. Let's walk over here. It's where the bombs waited to be dropped. Wow. Wonder how many you could get in there. Oh, and you can see up in there. This is how they could tell. Maybe this is where the bombardier sat. Kind of got an idea.
Probably a tail gunner. It's probably like.
Oh yeah, tail gunner's right there. But then that doesn't explain the bombardier. What kind of plane is this? I don't know.
That'd be the turret gunner. Yeah, I don't know.
So it looks like it would have slid at one point. Maybe they did. I don't know. So these are U.S. fighter planes? Okay. The P-40. So if you've seen Pearl Harbor, this is the airplane that they fly in. Just airplanes everywhere. Crazy how many airplanes there are in here. It's a B-25 right there.
So this is the airplane this is the B-25. This is what Jimmy Doolittle trained all his pilots to take off of an aircraft carrier to bomb Japan.
So this was what they used in the Doolittle raid.
Yep. You'd see this airplane in Pearl Harbor as well.
This is the one that took off from the aircraft carrier. How crazy is that? It seems bigger in the movie.
It is pretty big.
It is, but it definitely seems bigger in the movie. So this airplane here is the airplane that was used as a dive bomber in the movie Midway. An A-24. It carried one torpedo underneath, and that's it. It's one and done.
Well, some of those could be smoke bombs. They had smoke bombs and then they had bombers.
This is the original, one and only Memphis Belle. It's pretty amazing. B-17.
So in front of us here is the the famous Memphis Belle. So Memphis Belle was the first aircraft to complete 25 bombing missions over Europe. Once they did that, they actually retired the airplane. Now it sits in a museum. It's a feat that I think is, I want to say they're the only ones that accomplished that. If there was anybody else that did that, it wasn't very many, because how many bombers they sent up and how many bombers they didn't come home.
At least in one piece.
Yeah, it's so cool to see the history right here in front of you.
The infamous Norden bomb site. They wanted this so bad. Japan, and I know Japan for sure, but I'm not sure about in Germany. Yep, there it is right there. It's the tail gunner for the Memphis Belle. I guess maybe not just the tail gunner. I suppose it could go both ways. Wow, it's impressive. All right, the B-24, which is the Memphis Belle that we're looking at, was also in the movie Unbroken with Louis Zamperini. He was part of the crew of Superman, and you can see that story on the movie Unbroken. The museum itself it's 19 acres, and every inch is literally used. It's really impressive. Definitely worth a stop if you're in the area, and even if you're not in the area, make it something that you go and do. This one's impressive. They did their bit for the war.
Why is this not
So this is a torpedo bomber. Look at this. I couldn't imagine having to fit in here and do it for hours. Hours. Takes hours to get to their drop site, and then hours to give back, and then if you're damaged in any way, I just couldn't imagine.
This is C7 or C47? Predecessor to C17, C5.
Okay, that one's this one up here.
Oh, that's the phone box car. It's a hangar. What do they call that thing? Didn't even see it.
So this, you said this one's the what?
This is the C-47. This is what all the troops on D-Day jumped out of.
Oh. This is a C-47, and John just said that this is the airplane that all the paratroopers jumped out of on D-Day.
So if you watched Band of Brothers, you will see all those C-47s taking off, and you can see this has got the D-Day stripes on there, the white and the black.
That's what the white and black means, is that it was for D-Day? Oh, that's pretty cool.
Rocket. That's what Germany launched. Oh, B-1.
That's the back of the Liberator. Again, I was mistaken. That was not the plane that Louis Zamperini crashed in. That was actually the one that they would see flying over when they were captured. What were you saying about this airplane?
This is a sexy airplane right here.
A sexy airplane.
This is the P-51 Mustang.
Okay.
This is what the Tuskegee Airmen flew.
Oh. I can't get behind the sexy, but I trust you.
It's sexy.
I trust you. Okay, just look at this.
There's a little sexiness to all of them.
There's not a wasted inch of space in here. You've got wings just about touching. I mean, look at how close they are. It just blows my mind. It has what, 2 feet apart in any spot? All right, this is one of the German airplanes from World War II. It's a Ju-88. That's interesting looking. It's another German airplane. What's this one's claim to fame other than its tiny little propeller?
Actually, this is like
What do you suppose the tiny little propeller's purpose is?
before I look, like this is Germany's first attempt to have a rocket airplane. So we stalled out. You got a little generator.
So this was their attempt at a jet, a non-propellered
It's a rocket-powered defensive fighter.
rocket-powered airplane.
It didn't last very long.
So this is a Douglas A-20, used World War II, flown in the Pacific. Look at all their torpedoes. It's pretty impressive. A lot of successful flights. Not every day you get to see an airman in shorts. Philippines, New Guinea. All right, this right here was the dreaded Japanese Zero. See this Pearl Harbor. You're gonna see this in any movie, documentary, TV show of World War II in the Pacific. All right, so this airplane right here, this bomber, this B-29, was the bomber that dropped the A-bomb on Nagasaki. One of the 2 bombers, the Enola Gay was the other, and this one were the 2 bombers that basically ended World War II. It's pretty impressive. It represents the Nagasaki bomb drop. And here we have a replica, obviously, of the atomic bomb that was dropped on Nagasaki. So this is a C-124.
The first Globemaster, or the second.
The what? This,
It's a Globemaster.
oh, Globemaster. So this is like a predecessor to the C-17. All right. All right, so this is when John's gonna start spewing facts. And if there's a C-17 in here, we're in for it, everybody.
I don't know a lot of facts about this one.
This is,
Ramp, everything had to be wrenched up.
oh, I bet.
Couldn't be driven on.
I can see that. This doesn't look like it's very user-friendly.
War is wood. So this would fold down for
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Both sides, huh? And that's where people would sit.
the Russians still use
Russians.
kind of a system on their Antonovs. They have winches like this.
All right, this is a unique one, everybody. That's right, you're seeing double. 2 cockpits. 1 middle wing. Twin Mustang. There's the B-52 bomber. Goes on for days. And there's the end right there. Actual parts of the Berlin Wall. Something you never think you're going to see in your life. You call this the Spectre gunship?
Yep.
All right.
Got 50 cows, 105, howitzer. It's the angel of death for sure.
The Angel of Death. All right, so here we go, everybody. What you got to say, John?
Other than this is probably one of the sexiest airplanes ever made. It still holds the ultimate speed record. The SR-71 Blackbird. One of the first aircraft I ever responsible for guarding. That and its friend up there, the U-2. Both are reconnaissance aircraft. I know it's expensive to fly them, but I'd still love to see these things flying.
So we got to see and hear these, both of these, a lot when we were stationed at Beale Air Force Base in Northern California.
Yep. It was a sad day working the retirement of this guy here. It leaked like a sieve. Well, it was getting ready to take off. It would just fuel would just leak. And then once it took off, got up to speed, that airframe actually stretched. And it would seal off those. You'd have 2 KC-135 Q model tankers take off at least an hour prior to this guy taking off so they could get it up to where they needed to be for refueling. Because it took that much fuel.
So it took 114 minutes to go from New York to London. That's pretty fast.
The top fuel or the top speed on this is.
Whew. That's a big one.
Goodyear tires.
Goodyear tire, huh? XB-36. Don't know what kind of airplane that is, but that's its landing gear. What is it? It's like a kid in a candy store.
That's a B-58 Hustler.
B-58 Hustler?
Yep. I actually built a model of this when I was a kid. Can't remember what the name of the movie is, but Jimmy Stewart pilots one of these. It's cool. And they're, if I can remember what the movie is, we'll We'll put it in the video. But I thought it was a cool movie. It's Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy Stewart is actually an Air Force. Was in the Air Force. I believe he was a pilot too.
This is the stuff that I like. I like how they get to paint their choice of art on their airplanes. Oh, so you can't do nose art anymore? People got their feelings hurt? That's unfortunate.
And in World War II, when Berlin was divided up, we still flew missions into, I think it was Tempelhof, to drop off goods and needed fuel. But this gentleman here has got Gail Halverson. He was a pilot of one of the aircraft that goes in. But what he would do is he would open up the window, and then he would drop out little parachutes, and inside those little parachutes was candy. So he became known as the candy bomber. So
Yep, Tempelhof.
but all the kids would meet at the end of the runway and wait for him to drop candy.
Total of 23 tons of candy to the children of Berlin.
Alright, so we just finished up our first time through the National Museum of the United States Air Force. We spent a couple hours here, but it's still way too quick. There's so much to read, so much to absorb. So I do want to come back.
Yes.
When we go back down to North Carolina, we may have to stop by here and just make an extra day of it on our trip, just so we can experience everything.
It was really impressive. I was impressed with every inch has a plane in it. Or, I mean, you saw planes that were 2 feet apart. That was it. Wingspan, 2 feet apart, and then other planes tucked underneath planes. It was crazy. It was so impressive.
Yeah, it's a little bit of walking down memory lane for me because they have the U-2, the SR-71, some T-38s. Those are where I started. They were stationed. They were at Beale. The U-2s are still there, but that's where we started our Air Force career. So a little nostalgia for me. It was awesome to see. Parked over here, there's there's a C-17. So that's cool. It's just I don't seem to be over there walking around, and it's not like you can go in it, which I would want to go in it. So if I can't go in it, probably not worth going over there for. I would just like to go into it again. That's my other baby. That's what I ended my career with.
So if you get a chance, Dayton, Ohio, definitely worth a stop.
Yep.
And
Alright.
and I would say at least a full day or 2 days to be able to see it and really experience the whole thing. We're just here on a quick stop on our way to Wisconsin, so it was just one of those things, killing some time. But yeah, glad we did it. Really impressed.
Yep. So we won't close out our normal video. This is how we normally do it. So leave that open in case we do come back.
Okay.
But I do give it 2 thumbs up.
There you go. All right.